US President Barack Obama announcing a boost to the US presence in Syria. 250 US military personnel, adding to the first 50 deployed late last year. They're backup, the US President says, for Syrian rebels taking on the menace of ISIL.
Right now, the most urgent threat to our nations is ISIL, and that's why we're united in our determination to destroy it. And all 28 NATO allies are contributing to our coalition, whether it's striking ISIL targets in Syria and Iraq, or supporting the air campaign, or training local forces in Iraq, or providing critical humanitarian aid. And we continue to make progress. So given the success, I've approved the deployment of up to 250 additional U.S. personnel in Syria, including special forces, to keep up this momentum.
ISIL seized control of large areas of Syria in 2014, moving into the north from strongholds set up in Iraq months earlier. Airstrikes by a US-led coalition started in Syria 2 months later. Late last year, Obama sent in around 50 US special forces to train Kurdish-led fighters taking on ISIL, and says more troops will help maintain that momentum. Syria's now 6-year-long war shows no sign of ending. Despite a fragile ceasefire and faltering negotiations, fighting continues in places such as Douma and here in Aleppo. More than half of Syria's population, that's 12 million people, have been displaced. 4 million of them have sought refuge in other countries, and hundreds of thousands have risked their lives in overcrowded boats to try and reach Europe. Obama called on all nations to share responsibility for helping those fleeing violence.
Chancellor Merkel and others have eloquently reminded us that we cannot turn our backs on our fellow human beings who are here now and need our help now.
The US is also sending 200 more troops to Iraq, and Obama called on his European allies to pull their weight too, an indication that the fight against ISIL needs a lot more support. Mereana, Al Jazeera.